Welcome to Crypto 101, a first principles jargon-free course on blockchain and its impact on financial services. We are currently in the process of learning about a popular decentralized finance application called Uniswap. In this lesson, we will wrap up our learnings on Uniswap. Then, we will make some general reflections on decentralized exchanges. In this section, we will recap what we have already learned about Uniswap. Uniswap is a decentralized exchange from where traders can buy one crypto token in exchange for another. It consists of a set of smart contracts, each of which relate to one token pair. Each smart contract contains an inventory of tokens called the liquidity pool. Liquidity pools are equivalent to the order book of a centralized exchange. The term liquidity is used to refer to the inventory of assets available for trading. There are two categories of users who interact with Uniswap. Liquidity providers deposit tokens to the liquidity pool with the incentive to earn trading fees. Traders swap tokens with the pool and pay trading fees, which gets distributed to liquidity providers. The current price in the liquidity pool at any time represents the exchange rate at which an incremental token can be swapped with the pool. The actual price at which a specified amount of tokens can be swapped with the pool is unfavorable as compared with the marginal price. The difference between the actual trade execution price and the marginal price is called slippage. Greater the inventory within the liquidity pool in relation to the traded amount, lower the slippage associated with a trade. The number of tokens received for a given input in a swap is determined by a mathematical function called the constant product market maker. The function can be represented graphically as shown here. The tokens in the liquidity pool are distributed across price curve in the graph, within ranges specified by liquidity providers. Hence, the global price curve is actually an aggregation of multiple overlapping price ranges. Each range contains the tokens of liquidity providers who have contributed to that range. The liquidity providers are equivalent to market makers in a centralized exchange. The price curve is a series of open buy orders at different ask prices. The ask price of one token is denominated in the other token within the liquidity pool, instead of being quoted in fiat currency. Traders swap tokens with Uniswap when the price paid to the liquidity pool post-slippage deviates from what is available in other venues. Traders arbitrage with Uniswap if the resulting profits are greater than the trading fees and gas fees they pay. The red line represents the price of the marginal token in the Uniswap liquidity pool. To the right of this line, one can purchase tokens of type Y from the pool. Traders will do so if the price of token Y is cheaper in the liquidity pool as compared to trading venues outside Uniswap. To the left of this line, one can purchase tokens of type X from the pool. Traders will do so if the price of token X is cheaper in the liquidity pool as compared to trading venues outside Uniswap. One concept we have not covered so far is the distinction between two types of tokens issued by Uniswap. The first type of token is a non-fungible token which represents an entitlement to trading fees and is issued to liquidity providers. We have already covered this in detail. The second type of token, which we have not covered, is called Uni. Next, we will learn what Uni is. Uni is a governance token which allows token holders to have a say on the running of the decentralized exchange. Think of it as conferring the voting rights of a share but not ownership rights. Uni can be bought and sold on centralized exchanges. Many people who buy Uni may be doing so for purposes of speculative investment only. We can now add another word into our growing vocabulary of crypto jargon. Airdrop refers to the distribution of tokens for free to one or more Ethereum addresses. Uni was introduced in September 2020. 400 Uni tokens were airdropped to any Ethereum address that had used Uniswap. There were 250,000 Ethereum addresses and the total value at the time of these 400 tokens was about $1,400. Now that we have recapped how Uniswap operates, we will zoom out to some big picture themes relating to decentralized exchanges. The big question facing us is this: why would a trader trade on Uniswap as opposed to a centralized exchange? Next, we will answer this question in a stepwise manner. When we think of centralized exchanges, we can distinguish between exchanges in traditional securities and crypto assets. Let us look at traditional securities first. In traditional finance, examples of centralized exchanges are the New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. The role of the exchange is separate from that of the broker. Brokerage firms like Charles Schwab and Robinhood route the orders of their customers to the exchange. In an earlier era, people phoned in their orders to their stockbroker. In centralized finance, individuals cannot trade on centralized exchanges directly. Examples of centralized exchanges in the crypto world are Coinbase and Binance. Historically, there has been no separation between the exchange role and the broker role. Individuals can trade directly on an exchange. Additionally, to the extent both buyer and seller is using the custodial wallet offered by the centralized exchange, no actual transaction actually occurs on the blockchain, thus eliminating gas fees. We can identify 5 reasons to use a decentralized exchange over a centralized one. Next, we will look at each, one by one. One reason to use a decentralized exchange is access to a broader range of tokens. In a decentralized exchange, any token issuer can create a liquidity pool contract with the new token and a pre-existing liquid token like Ether. This allows anyone holding the pre-existing token, say Ether, to buy the new token from the pool. In a centralized exchange, the central entity vets the token before allowing it to list. Hence, there may be a large time gap between the date a token was issued and the date a token is listed on a centralized exchange. In a decentralized exchange, the tokens are available to trade immediately. Access can cut both ways and need not necessarily be an advantage. Since a decentralized exchange does not curate the selection of tokens available on Ethereum, people can end up buying scam tokens. Decentralized exchanges offer greater security since the tokens are always stored in self-custody wallets. Hence, there is no danger of losing one's coins if the exchange closes, goes bankrupt or gets hacked. Even centralized exchanges like Coinbase offer self-custody wallets to those customers who opt for one. We can compare the cost of a decentralized and a centralized exchange. In a decentralized exchange, traders are charged a trading fee to incentivize liquidity providers into depositing their tokens into an automated market-making liquidity pool. Centralized exchanges also charge trading fees to compensate them for the range of services they provide, of which market making could be a component. The cost of trading in a decentralized exchange could be lower than in centralized exchanges because there is no middleman collecting tolls. However, this may not always be true. Further, over time, centralized exchanges may develop revenue models, which makes them less reliant on trading fees. In a decentralized exchange, every trade costs gas. In a centralized exchange, if buyer and seller are both holding their tokens in a custodial wallet offered by the exchange, gas fees can be skipped. To conclude, while trading on decentralized exchanges can be cheaper, it need not necessarily be so. We have already discussed this reason in detail. One obvious reason to trade on a decentralized exchange is if one can get a better price, after adjusting for cost of trading like gas fees and trading fees. A decentralized exchange is true to the spirit of the blockchain. Your identity is your Ethereum address. No KYC is needed. Hence, decentralized exchanges have less regulatory friction. However, centralized exchanges are more user-friendly and intuitive for retail investors to navigate. The reason Uniswap does not require KYC is that one cannot buy tokens with fiat money. The Uniswap user must first buy tokens in a centralized exchange and then use it for transacting within Uniswap. Ultimately, the case for decentralized exchanges does not fully rest in any of the 5 factors we just covered. It is a philosophical case. Decentralized exchanges are based on the ethos of decentralization and reflect the true spirit of the blockchain. This brings us to an end to the lesson on Uniswap. We will resume learning about other decentralized finance applications in the next lesson.